I'm Buzzy the Knowledge Bug. Welcome to the airport. This is a very busy place. People coming and going, planes landing and taking off. Helicopters, seaplanes, jet airplanes, hangars. There's so much to explore at the airport, so let's get going.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Lilbumblebear's Let's Play. I'm Chris Lilbumblebear, and this series was requested by one of my amazing subscribers, the Buzzy Let's Explore series, and this is Let's Explore the Airport. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and please subscribe for more nostalgic gaming. I love interacting with you guys. There will be a playlist in the description box of all the other Humongous entertainment games I've done on this channel. Feel free to follow my Twitch channel. I stream on there. It's Lilbumblebear. I have Twitter and Instagram, and I have a Discord server. If you would like to be in it, please let me know in the comments down below and I'll get you an invite. Without further ado, let's begin. Please enjoy.
Go ahead and type in your name, and I, Buzzy the Knowledge Bug, will keep track of your score as we play. Hey, let's play a game. Just pick one, and away we go. If you need any help, just ask me, Buzzy the Knowledge Bug. Go ahead and choose a level. Hello there. Let's play Find It. First, I, Buzzy the Knowledge Bug, will choose something I know you can find back at the airport. Then we'll buzz back over there and take a look. Keep your eyes open, and when you find what you're looking for, just click on it. Here's your first item. Now, let's see if you can find it. Down below is a picture of the item. It's somewhere in this area. Way to go! You found it! Let's find another. Okay, let's see if you can find this one. Good luck! Down below is a picture of the item. It's somewhere in this area. Way to go! You found it! Let's find another. Okay, let's see if you can find this one. Good luck! Down below is a picture of the item. It's somewhere in this area. Congratulations! You found it! Let's find another. Okay, let's see if you can find this one. Good luck! Way to go! You found it! Let's find another. Okay, let's see if you can find this one. Good luck! Congratulations! You found it! Let's find another. Okay, let's see if you can find this one. Good luck! Congratulations! You found it! Let's find another. Okay, let's see if you can find this one. Good luck! Congratulations! You found it! Let's find another. Okay, let's see if you can find this one. Good luck! Way to go! You found it! Let's find another. Okay, let's see if you can find this one. Good luck! Congratulations! You found it! Let's find another. Okay, let's see if you can find this one. Good luck! Excellent! You found them all! Let's find more! Okay, let's see if you can find this one. Good luck! Hey, knowledge buddies! Hey, let's color some pictures! Hey, knowledge! How easy or how hard do you want the game to be? Oh, boy! Let's play What Is It? Match the picture to the answers on the right. Good luck! Yep, you're doing great! See if you can tell me what this is. Yes, indeedy! You're pretty good at this. Yes, indeedy! You're pretty good at this. Moon. Right you are! Can you tell me what this is? Hey, knowledge buddy! Let's play a game! Let's see if you can get the right colored luggage to drop into its matching bin. I don't know about you, but this doesn't look so easy to me. What level do you want to play? Are you ready for some trivia? Not only do knowledge bugs like to answer questions, we love to ask them too. That's how we get to learn so much great stuff. So now, I'm going to ask you some questions, and you can tell me the answers. Good luck! Airplanes are parked in the hangars to be cleaned or repaired. Hangars are like... Good answer! Super! How about this? Hey, hey, knowledge buddy! Crate. C-R-A-T-E. Crate. A crate is a heavy-duty box made of long, thin wooden slats. Crates come in many sizes and are often used to hold big items, like furniture. A chain-link fence is made of heavy steel wire. It is used to keep people and animals out of certain places. Since it is not solid, it's easy to see what's on the other side of the fence. There's a lot of activity going on at the terminal. This is where passengers find out when a flight is leaving or arriving, where they need to go to get on the right plane, and which way they should go to get their luggage. Passengers can also buy tickets, books, and magazines, and even meals inside the terminal. Clouds are tiny drops of water or ice that stay together in the sky. The drops are so small that they aren't heavy enough to fall from the clouds. When they grow bigger and heavier, the drops fall as rain or snow. When water freezes around falling snow, the snow turns into hail. Wind socks look like big socks. At the airport, they are attached to poles, and they wave through the air when the wind blows. Pilots and air traffic controllers watch the wind socks to see how hard the wind is blowing and from which direction. This helps them decide which runways are safest for takeoff and landing. The rotor blades of a helicopter spin around or rotate to lift the helicopter into the air. Because the helicopter has rotor blades instead of wings, it can fly straight up into the air and can turn easily. Rotor blades allow helicopters to hover, which means they can stay in one place above the ground. The pilot seat is where the pilot sits to operate the controls and fly the plane. A headset is a device that is held against the ear by a headband. It sends and receives telephone and radio messages. Workers in the tower use headsets to talk to the pilots as they fly in and out of the airport. Wearing the headset leaves the workers' hands free for other jobs. The joystick lets the pilot control the pitch or tilt of the helicopter's rotor blades. By tilting the blades in different directions, the helicopter will go up, go down, or hover in one place. The joystick is also called the collective pitch control. The altimeter is an instrument that tells the pilot how high the plane is flying in the air. The height a plane flies is called its altitude. A dock is a walkway that goes from the shore out over the water. Seaplanes park at the dock so that passengers can get on and off without getting wet. A dock is also called a wharf or a pier. Suitcases are one type of luggage. A suitcase is used to hold clothes, shoes, books, toys, and other important things that people pack and take on trips. Unless very small, suitcases should be given to the person behind the ticket counter or at a curbside check-in instead of carried on the plane. Oil drums store oil, which is used to lubricate or grease parts on the plane. Lubrication makes parts slippery, so they turn and slide easily. This makes them work better and last longer. A roll-up door rolls up instead of swinging open from the side. It is on a track so that workers can roll it up and down with ease. Roll-up doors are used when the door has to be kept out of the way. The floats on the bottom of the seaplane keep it from sinking. They also make it possible to take off and land on water instead of a runway. A strut is a bar or rod used for support. On an airplane, struts are connected to the wings to give them strength as the plane flies. The fuselage is the main body of the airplane. This is where the passengers sit and where suitcases, boxes, and packages are stored during the flight. The rear of the plane, called the tail, is made up of two sections. One section, the fin, stands straight up from the tail. The other, called the tailplane, extends from each side of the fin like a pair of small wings. The wings on an airplane help it fly. When the airplane goes through the air flows over the wings and lifts the plane. Without wings, the air wouldn't be able to lift the plane up so it could fly. Like the windshield on a car or truck, the windshield on an airplane keeps wind, rain, and snow out of the cockpit. Ducks are birds that can swim. They have webbed feet to help them swim and dive for food. Their bodies are covered with lots of soft feathers to keep them warm and dry when they swim in cold lakes and ponds. Ducks usually have large flat bills too, and short legs. We often call them both ducks, but really only the female is a duck. The male is called a drake. Hey. Fuel trucks are like portable gas stations for airplanes. When an airplane lands, the fuel truck drives to the plane and fills up the fuel tanks. This gives the plane plenty of fuel for its next flight. The fire truck is always ready in case there's an emergency at the airport. On board the truck is plenty of water and foam for putting out different kinds of fires. The truck also carries ladders, axes, and other special equipment. The firefighters at the airport work hard to put out fires and help people who are injured. Airplanes have been around for less than 100 years. The first planes were almost all made of cloth and wood. Today, planes are made of metal and plastic. Airplanes are heavier than air, but can fly because of their propellers or jet engines. Both jets and propeller planes are called airplanes. Planes have large wings and a long body called the fuselage. At the back of the plane is the tail, where the fin and the tail planes are. The McDonnell Douglas DC-10 is a commercial jet. It is over 181 feet long from nose to tail and measures 155 feet from wingtip to wingtip. Its engines can keep the plane flying as fast as 575 miles per hour. Depending on how the cabin seats are put in, the DC-10 can handle from 274 to 380 passengers.
Oopsie.
Scaffolding is used to help workers get to high places. Workers at the airport can climb up on the scaffolding to wash windows, paint, or do repair work on the plane. A mechanic is a person who has been trained to repair machines. At the airport, mechanics take good care of the airplanes to keep them flying safely. If an airplane part breaks or wears out, the mechanic knows how to replace it with a new part. By keeping the plane in tip-top shape, the mechanic makes sure that it will fly smoothly and safely. The jet engine gives power to a jet plane so that it can move fast enough to take off into the sky and fly. Jet planes fly faster than other kinds of passenger planes. The tool chest is a handy place for the mechanic to store tools. Wrenches, screwdrivers, pliers, and socket sets are usually kept in a tool chest. With all the tools in a tool chest, they are easy to find the next time they are needed. Sometimes a tool chest is called a toolbox. Stairs are made up of steps. By walking up each step in the stairs, people can go from one level to another. Mobile stairs are sometimes used at airports, so people can walk from the ground up to the airplane door. The stairs are then moved out of the way until they're needed again. The wheels on the bottom of the plane are called the landing gear. They let the plane roll safely on the ground during takeoff and landing. Once the plane is in the air, the landing gear is raised into a well inside the plane. The gear is lowered again when the pilot is ready to land. The cabin window lets passengers see outside the plane while they are flying. This way, they can see what it looks like flying high above the clouds. This is a small plane that's sometimes called a commuter plane because people can commute or travel short distances in it. The rudder is on the back of the fin. Using the rudder and ailerons, the pilot can turn the plane to the left or right. The plane door is the normal entrance and exit door for passengers. Before the plane takes off, the door is closed and the latch moved to lock the door. When the plane lands, the plane moves up to the jetway, which will completely surround the door. Once again, the flight attendant uses the door latch to unlock the door. The door is opened and passengers can get out of their seats and exit the plane. Along the side of each runway are runway edge lights. The runway edge lights are placed all along the runway and shine on it. The lights help the pilot see the runway when it's dark, foggy, or in rain or snow. The Airbus Industries A310 is a commercial jet. It is over 153 feet long from nose to tail and measures 144 feet from wingtip to wingtip. Its engines can run the plane as fast as 556 miles per hour, although for long trips it usually goes no faster than 515 miles per hour. The A310's cabin is big enough for 210 to 265 passengers, depending on how many seats are put in. Barricades are used to keep people out of certain places. They are like fences, but they're portable, which means they can be moved around. Once the passengers are on board and the baggage is loaded, a vehicle called the push-out tug pushes the airplane away from the gate. Then the plane can taxi or roll slowly to the runway. There's a lot of activity going on at the terminal. This is where passengers find out when a flight is leaving or arriving, where they need to go to get on the right plane, and which way they should go to get their luggage. Passengers can also buy tickets, books, and magazines, and even meals inside the terminal. The control tower is where the air traffic controllers work. They are the people that tell the pilots which way to go when they're landing or taking off from the airport. The control tower is always up high at the airport, and it always has windows on all sides. This way, the people working inside can easily see where all the airplanes are. The marshaller signals directions to the pilot. This helps the pilot safely steer the big plane on the ground as he or she brings it to the gate. Check out this airplane. It's a Concorde jet, the fastest passenger airplane around. A runway is a long strip of land used by airplanes when they land and take off at the airport. Runways are flat and smooth, so the planes can take off and land safely. Most runways have lights on either side, so that planes can take off and land at night. Another word for runway is airstrip. Here we are in the boarding area of the Concorde jet. Too bad we don't have tickets. I'm ready for a vacation.
Huh?
A magazine is a printed collection of pictures and stories on certain subjects that people are interested in. There are special magazines about sports, video games, nature, even flying. Some magazines are just for kids. Many airlines print their own magazines and put them in the seat pocket for passengers to read. These magazines usually have maps that show which cities the airline flies to. The magazine rack is a handy place to keep magazines on the airplane so they're easy to find. A closet is a small room where things can be stored until they are needed. The closet in an airplane is used to hang passengers' coats and store some of their carry-on luggage. The interphone is used by flight attendants during the flight. They can make announcements to the passengers. Talk to a flight attendant at the other end of the plane, or talk to the pilot. A seat is something that a person sits on. A chair is a type of seat. Benches and sofas are also kinds of seats. On an airplane, each passenger is assigned his or her own seat for the trip. The cabin light is just like a hallway light at home. It lights up the area below it. An overhead compartment in an airplane is used to hold small items like jackets, purses, and small suitcases. People must put these things in the overhead compartment to keep the aisles clear and to keep their things out of the way of other people. The pilot seat is where the pilot sits to operate the controls. The pilot uses the control yoke to fly the plane. The control yoke is used to adjust the ailerons, tilting the plane to the right or left, and the elevators, which move the plane up or down. The autopilot is an instrument that can be set by the pilot to automatically keep the plane flying in the right direction. This allows pilots to take a break from the controls and get up and stretch their legs during a long flight. The pilot is the person who sits at the controls and flies the plane. It is the pilot's job to make sure the passengers and cargo arrive safely at the airport. Sometimes a pilot is helped by a second pilot called a co-pilot. The pilot uses the radio to talk to the air traffic controllers and other pilots flying nearby. The radio can also help the pilot navigate or stay on course by tracking radio signals from the ground. This radio is called the NAVCOM, which stands for Navigation and Communication. An oxygen mask fits over the nose and mouth to help a person breathe. The mask is connected to a tube that carries oxygen. There is an oxygen mask for everyone on board an airplane. If the plane loses oxygen during an emergency, the mask drops down from the ceiling, ready to be strapped on by each passenger. The Concorde has a drop nose that is specially designed to cut through the air at high speeds. Since the Concorde flies faster than the speed of sound, this nose design is very important. The pilot lowers the nose when it is time to land, so he can see better.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Flight 715 to London. We hope you'll be having a pleasant flight with us today. We will be taking off soon, and I'd like to bring to your attention a few safety features of the Concorde. The Concorde has exits at the main entrance and in the rear of the wings. To operate the doors, merely move the door latch and pull on the door. Before we take off, please make sure your seat belts are securely fastened about your waist. To adjust the seat belt, lift up on the flap and pull the belt or buckle.
Flight attendants are the people in charge of taking care of the airplane passengers. Flight attendants know about safety on the plane, can answer passengers' questions about the flight, and help make passengers feel comfortable on their long trip. On some trips, flight attendants serve food and drinks to passengers.
Once the pilot has turned off the seatbelt sign, you may release the
The Tower Logbook is the official record book of what happens at the airport every day. Workers write down in the Tower Logbook which runways were used, who was in charge in the tower, what equipment was broken, and any emergencies that might have happened. Binoculars have powerful pieces of glass called lenses. The lenses magnify things or make them look larger so that people can see objects that are far away. In the tower, the workers use binoculars to keep an eye on the airplanes as they fly in and out of the airport. Workers in the tower use the telephone when they need to call someone for information or if someone calls them with a question. The radar scope is the screen that shows other airplanes and thunderstorms that have been detected by the radar. Donuts are sweet ring-shaped treats eaten for breakfast or for a snack. They go well with a glass of cold milk. A chair is a type of seat with a back to lean against. Some chairs also have armrests on each side. The pilot uses the radio to talk to the air traffic controllers and other pilots flying nearby. The radio can also help the pilot navigate or stay on course by tracking radio signals from the ground. This radio is called the NAVCOM, which stands for Navigation and Communication. A map is a drawing of an area that people use to find their way around. A map of a city shows where all of the streets are and which directions they go. Following a map is a good way to keep from getting lost in a new town. Coffee is a drink made from coffee beans, the seeds of coffee plants. Coffee is a dark brown color, like the beans. Many grown-ups drink coffee. It is usually served hot, but can also be served iced or cold. The air traffic controller works in the airport's tower. This person tells the pilots when it's time to land or take off. By making sure the planes come in and go when it's their turn, the air traffic controller keeps the airport running smoothly and safely. A wheelchair is a seat that is attached to two large wheels and one or two small wheels. When a person's legs don't work very well, it can be hard or even impossible to walk. Wheelchairs help people who have trouble walking get wherever they want to go. A parcel is something that is wrapped and taken from one place to another. A parcel is also called a package. A ticket shows that the passenger has paid to take a trip on the airplane. Passengers must show their ticket to the flight attendant before they are allowed to get on the plane. The ticket is printed with the name of the airline, the flight number, the name of the city where the plane will be landing, and the time the plane is supposed to take off. The ticket desk is a counter at the gate where passengers with only carry-on baggage can check in before their plane trip. Check-in lets the flight attendants know who will be on the plane, how much food is needed, and how much fuel the plane needs. Once the passengers have checked in, they wait in the lounge until it's time for their flight to leave. Behind every airline ticket counter is the customer service agent. This person can sell tickets, check in luggage, arrange for seating, and look up information on other flights. The reader board keeps passengers updated on all the flights. It shows which flights are arriving or coming in, and if they're on time. It also shows which flights are departing or leaving the airport. The jetway is a covered ramp that goes from the gate to the airplane's hatch or door. When there's no jetway, passengers use stairs to board the plane. The door latch is used to open the door and to close and lock it. Tray tables on airplanes are attached to the back of the seats. A passenger can lower the tray and use it as a table. When the passenger is done with the tray, it can be raised back up out of the way.
Ribbit.
Here is the galley of the airplane. Galley is another word for kitchen. Flight attendants make coffee back here for the passengers. And on longer flights, they put the passengers' meals together back here. It's an awfully tiny place to have so much happening. A service trolley is a little cart on wheels that holds food and drinks. On an airplane, the flight attendant rolls the service trolley down the aisle and brings food and beverages to passengers. Peanuts, beverage. Beverage is another word for drink. On an airplane, flight attendants often serve beverages to the passengers. Many people choose juice, soda, milk, tea, or coffee as their beverage during the flight. Peanuts are not really nuts, but are part of the legume family, which includes beans and peas. Peanuts are a favorite snack served on airplanes. Microwave ovens cook food very fast. And because they are small, they are handy on an airplane. Microwave ovens are used to reheat food, thaw frozen food, boil water, and cook meals in a hurry. A refrigerator keeps food and drinks cold. Keeping food in a refrigerator helps it stay fresh longer. Refrigerators come in many different sizes. Some refrigerators, like the ones in airplanes, are very small and can sit on top of or under a counter. Other refrigerators are as big as a room. Meal trays hold meals for the airplane passengers during long trips. Flight attendants offer meals to all the passengers during the flight, taking them from the service trolley. Preparing the meals on meal trays makes it easier to serve each passenger and to clean up after the meal. A hot plate is like a mini stove. Food and drinks are kept on the hot plate to keep them warm until it's time to eat. A cupboard is a place to store things. Cupboards have shelves and doors so that the things don't fall out when the plane moves. Seat belts keep drivers and passengers safe. Seat belts hold people in, close to their seat. This way, they can't fall out of their seats if there's a quick stop or an accident. The restroom on an airplane is like a bathroom at home, but it usually doesn't have a shower or bathtub. The restroom has a sink, which is also called a wash bowl for washing hands. It also has a toilet. Another word for restroom is lavatory. A mirror reflects or shows back whatever is in front of it. People use mirrors to see how they look. Most mirrors are made of glass. Some mirrors have frames around them and are hung on a wall. Some small mirrors, called hand mirrors, can be held while they are used. A sink is shaped like a big bowl. The faucet on top brings water to the sink, which people use for drinking and for cleaning things. Sinks are used for washing hands, shaving, brushing teeth, rinsing off food, washing dishes, and even washing clothes. The sink in an airplane is usually small and is usually just used for washing hands. The air nozzles on a plane aim or direct air toward the passengers. They work like little fans or air conditioners. Each person can turn the air nozzle above his or her seat, letting just the right amount of cool air blow out. Airports send out radio waves to guide pilots to the airport. One of the uses for the horizontal situation indicator is to display if the plane is on course or not. Another purpose is to help with the compass. As the plane travels through the air, the compass needle will sometimes make a slight mistake. The horizontal situation indicator helps the pilot realize the mistake and keep the plane flying in the right direction. The throttle is like a gas pedal in a car. It controls the speed of the plane's engines. There are usually several levers, each one controlling a different engine. Each lever can be moved by hand, so the pilot can speed up or slow down each engine during takeoff, in flight, or when landing. The pilot seat is where the pilot sits to operate the controls and fly the plane. Here we are in the concourse. The concourse is where the gates are located. Each and every flight leaves from and arrives at an area called a gate. And that's where you see all those people waiting.
Mr. Spielberg, Mr. Stanley Spielberg, please phone home. Would the owner of a small purple car please come to the red cap counter?
Gate A.
I just want to mention that I've seen a lot of references to the other Humongous Entertainment games. We saw Fatty Bear in the control tower. We saw Freddi Fish in the magazine on one of the, I think it was the fastest plane. And now right here is the Freddi Fish music. I think it's the Kelp Seed game. I've always loved the Humongous Entertainment soundtracks. One of my favorite game soundtracks of all time. They make such great songs. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying this, and I don't know, just a little Easter egg I wanted to point out.
Posters are paper signs that give people information. Some posters have pretty pictures on them and are printed with lots of colors. Other posters just have words on them and are very plain. The newsstand is where newspapers and magazines are sold. Some newsstands also sell books and candy. The gate is the place in the terminal where passengers board or get on the plane. It is also where passengers on an arriving flight disembark or get off the plane. Border ropes are used to keep people out of certain places. The rope is a thick cord that is attached to two poles. It is portable, which means it can be moved easily from one place to another.
Yes?
The cash register is used to add up how much a customer buys. The cost of each item is entered into the cash register, and then a total comes up. This tells customers how much they must pay for the items they buy. The clerk operates the cash register and runs the newsstand. People looking for a certain magazine or book can also ask the clerk for help. Books are very popular to take along on airplane trips. That's because people have plenty of time to sit and read on their flight. Scary, funny, and even exciting stories can be found in books. Books are wonderful adventures to faraway places, and they can help people learn lots of fun new things. The postcard rack holds many different postcards. Many postcards have a picture on one side and a place to write messages on the other. Postcards are often mailed to friends, but people also get them so they can remember the places they've been to. The postcard rack allows customers to see all the postcards easily. The view screen, or monitor, lets the security person check baggage as it travels through the X-ray machine. He or she can see what's in each bag by watching the screen. Passengers who carry luggage on board with them have to have it X-rayed first. Airports use X-ray machines to see what's inside each bag. The bags are checked to make sure no one brings a weapon or a bomb on board. A pre-board screener or security guard makes sure everyone goes through the metal detector and puts their carry-on luggage through the X-ray machine on the way to the gate. They make sure that no one brings anything dangerous with them to the gate or on board the airplane. Passengers and airplane crew members have to walk through a metal detector before they get on a plane. The metal detector is a machine that is used to find or detect metal weapons. When a person is carrying something metal, the machine makes a loud beep. Then the person has to step aside and empty his or her pockets. Sometimes house keys and coins are enough to make the machine beep. Gates, parking, tickets.
Oh no, and if I want to go to... Sounds great. Let me check.
An escalator is a stairway that moves, but only in one direction. When people want to go upstairs, they ride the up escalator. If they want to go downstairs, they have to ride the down escalator. Conveyor belts are used for moving things over a short distance. Since the ends of the belt are connected, it loops around and doesn't stop unless the power is shut off. At the airport, conveyor belts are used to move the luggage from the ground up to the plane. When the luggage is loaded, the conveyor can be moved out of the way, so the plane can take off safely. A conveyor belt also carries baggage through the X-ray machine and into the baggage claim area. Posters are paper signs that give people information. Some posters have pretty pictures on them and are printed with lots of colors. Other posters just have words on them and are very plain. Behind every airline ticket counter is the customer service agent. This person can sell tickets, check in luggage, arrange for seating, and look up information on other flights. Ticket counter. When all of the luggage is unloaded from the airplane, it is sent to the baggage claim area. This is where the people come after their plane ride to get their luggage. The clock lets people know what time it is. The clock has a face, which is the front of the clock with numbers on it, and hands, which are the long bars that point at the numbers. The big hand on the clock is the longest one, and it tells the minutes. The little hand lets us know the hour. Lockers are used to store small items like jackets, purses, wallets, or briefcases. Lockers always have a special place for a lock on their doors. This way, the items inside can be locked up and kept safe until they're needed again.
Ribbit.
Pussy preheat rabbit to 425.
Lost.
Huh? Yeah? Huh? Yeah? Huh? Huh?
I got
Yeah?
a white convertible with a dent in the back bumper. Oh, yeah, I think you'll like it. It's a great car, great car.
I want a 4-door.
Luggage that is unloaded from the airplane is sent to the baggage claim area, where it comes out on the carousel. The carousel is big enough to hold lots of luggage. The carousel slowly goes around in a circle, carrying the luggage past all of the people. This way, people can easily find their suitcases. Car rental companies have many kinds of cars that they rent to people. This means people pay to use the car for a while. When a person is done using the car, they give it back to the car rental company and someone else can rent it. The phone book lists the addresses and phone numbers of people in the area. The white pages of the phone book has people's home addresses and phone numbers. The yellow pages list stores and business numbers. The phone book is in alphabetical order. That means that all the names that begin with the letter A are listed first, then the letter B second, and so on, all the way to the letter Z, which is last. Payphones are telephones that people must pay to use. Most payphones have a special coin slot, like a piggy bank. When you put the right amount of money in the coin slot, the phone will work, and you can make a call. People often take their dogs with them on trips, even to the airport. When dogs or other animals travel by airplane, they ride in a special container called a pet carrier. This container keeps them safe and comfortable during the flight. Car keys, baby blankets, glasses, maps, books, and even teddy bears can be accidentally lost at the airport. If someone finds a teddy bear, they can turn it in. which means they give it to the worker at Lost and Found. If someone loses their teddy bear, they can go to Lost and Found to get it back. From ticket. Baggage claim. Luggage checked in at the airport is given a baggage ticket with a barcode on it. The barcode has special symbols that say where the luggage should go. The scanner is a machine that reads the barcode to find out which airplane the luggage should be loaded onto. It sends the information to the pusher. A baggage handler is a worker at the airport who makes sure the luggage gets to the same place as the passengers. The pusher moves the luggage onto the right conveyor belt, but the baggage handler takes the luggage from the conveyor belt and puts it on the baggage cart or into the underfloor stowage area on the plane. Chalkboards are made from a smooth rock called slate. People write messages on the chalkboard with chalk, which comes from a soft powdery rock called limestone. The chalk can be erased easily, so chalkboards are good for leaving messages that people only need to see for a short time. Chalkboards are sometimes called blackboards. The pusher is a machine that pushes luggage onto the right conveyor belt so that all of the luggage from one flight ends up together. A device called the scanner reads the baggage ticket on each piece of luggage and tells the pusher where to send it. Baggage trailers are stacked with luggage to load onto the plane. When the plane lands at the next airport, the luggage will be unloaded from the plane back onto the baggage trailers. Then, the luggage is taken to the baggage claim area and returned to its owners. A pet carrier is like a little traveling house for pets. It has a solid floor for animals to rest on and is big enough to give them room to move around. Using a pet carrier is the safest way to take animals on a trip. When animals fly in an airplane, they must always be in a pet carrier. The cargo hatch is the door to the storage area under the plane. Luggage and other large items that are stored during the trip are placed on the plane through the cargo hatch. Underfloor containers are used to store cargo during a flight. They keep the cargo from sliding around while the plane is moving. A baggage handler is a worker at the Fire extinguishers are used to put out fires. They are portable, which means they can be moved easily from one place to another. Most fire extinguishers have special chemicals inside, which help put out or extinguish fires. The trunk is a roomy place in a car, usually in the back, for holding things. An extra tire, called a spare, is usually found in the trunk in case the car gets a flat tire. Luggage, boxes, shopping bags, and groceries are often carried in the trunk of a car. Cars are a handy way to get from one place to another. They come in lots of different shapes and colors. Some small cars can only carry 2 people. Big cars have room for several people. Cars can also carry luggage, groceries, or boxes in the trunk. Another word for car is automobile. Streets are used by people when they drive their cars, bicycles, trucks, buses, and motorcycles from one part of a city to another. In some places, even horses and buggies can be seen on the street. Sometimes parades and races are held on city streets. Parking garages are big buildings with room to park many cars. They are usually built at airports and other busy places, such as shopping centers or near office buildings. When passengers are dropped off at the airport, it's handy to check in at curbside check-in. They can check their baggage so they don't have to carry it with them through the airport. They can also check in for their flight. A duffel bag is a cloth suitcase shaped like a tube. Duffel bags come in all sizes, but most have a shoulder strap for easy carrying. The hand truck is a useful device to move crates and parcels. The hand truck has a flat platform at the bottom with 2 wheels on one side of the platform. The hand truck also has a vertical support with a handle on it. When a skycap or baggage handler wants to move an object, they slide the hand truck's flat platform underneath and lift the hand truck back. With the object now above the ground, the hand truck rolls around on its 2 wheels. Customer service. Computers hold lots of information or data in their memory. People can put new information in a computer, organize it, save it, and find it again whenever they want. Computers are used in companies, in schools, and at home for work, fun, and learning. Games are especially fun to play on the computer. An awning is a little roof, usually made of cloth that can be rolled up or down. Sometimes there are awnings over the curbside baggage check area at the airport. The awning shades the sidewalk by blocking the hot sun. It also protects the passengers and airport workers from rain and snow. A skycap is a worker at the airport who helps passengers with their luggage. The skycap carries the luggage, puts a baggage ticket on it with the passenger's flight number, and makes sure it gets to the right airplane.
Our
hope you enjoyed your stay at the airport.
I'm looking for burgers. Can you tell me where there's a good restaurant nearby?
Sure, first you take a left and go about 2 miles, then you take a left and go about 2 miles, and then you take a left and go about 2 miles.
Why, thank you. That's a nice pigeon.
Okay, that'll be $5, please.
The toll booth is where the controls for the toll gate are. When people drive their cars into the parking garage, they are not charged any money. But at the exit of the garage is the toll gate and the toll booth. The parking attendant takes the toll payment for the time the car was parked inside. Then the parking attendant raises the toll gate and the car can exit the parking garage. The parking attendant helps customers as they leave the airport. The attendant operates the toll gate and collects money that must be paid for parking at the parking garage. They also give people directions to help them get around town. The toll gate is where drivers stop to pay their toll. When the toll has been paid, the gate lifts up so the driver can go through.
Oh no. Come back, little birdie.
A security camera is a special video camera that is used in an area that needs to be kept safe, like a parking garage. When there are many security cameras in different parts of the parking garage, a guard can look at the pictures from all of the cameras at once and be on the lookout for people who might need help. Terminal.
Well, that wraps up this tour of the airport. I certainly hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below telling me how you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more content. I will have a playlist in the description box of the other Humongous Entertainment games on this channel. Remember, you are special and loved. You are never alone. You're always welcome to come hang out. Until next time, God bless. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone.